to Foundations of Faith. My name is Rhett Williams. I'm a seminarian for the Diocese of Charleston. It's great to see you guys back here at the end of a Monday evening. I hope the Monday went well. We made it through, survived. Now we're just going to jump into the parts of the church. I know we've talked about the sign of the cross, sacramentals, Catholic calisthenics, so different parts that kind of make up the beginning of the Mass and when we walk into the church. But now just kind of give an idea of what these different parts are called. You know, we grow up or come into the church and we're looking at the different parts, and we want to refer to the place where the person's reading the scriptures from, or from where the priest is preaching, or we want to meet somebody outside in what we often call the lobby. But what are the appropriate terms for this? What do we call these things? So I just have some different pictures here, and just want to run them by you. Many from the cathedral, from St. John the Baptist in Charleston. And I just want to run them by you, point out some different parts, and hopefully it can be of some help. Now here we have the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. The front part of the church is what we call the facade. This is what we often see on the front of St. Peter's Basilica in large white, or in Florence. We see these large facades that are the entranceway into the church. Through these front doors we will find ourselves in the narthex. Now here we see a small drawing of the beginning of a church. We see the narthex in the very front. In ancient times, this is where the penitents, those who were doing penance to re-enter the church, and the catechumens, those who were entering the church for the first time, they were segregated here, and after the liturgy of the Word, they would leave, and then the faithful would continue into the liturgy of the Eucharist. Leaving in through the narthex, we now come into the nave. Now we enter the nave, and here in the background we see the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. The nave is named after a Latin word, navis, which just means ship. Many often think this refers to the ship of Peter, which is also known as the bark of Peter, and others see it as a reference to Noah's Ark, the building with which we are contained and saved on the way to salvation. Now as we move from the narthex and through the nave, we walk through the nave to what we call the transepts. Now the transepts are normally on the right and left, and as you can see in the shape of a cross, they form what we would say that the arms of Christ. So as we move up the body, and then we have the arms here on the right and left. Now where the nave and the transepts come together, we have the pulpit. And this is often where the pulpit is. It comes from pulpitum, which is Latin for stage. And this is where we hear the homilies and oftentimes receive the reading of the scriptures. Finally, we arrive at the sanctuary. Here we can see the main altar at the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, and behind it we have the apse, which is just from apsis for arch behind, and then behind that we have sacristy, and the sacristy is where the clergy often get dressed, and also where certain vessels for the Mass are kept. Well, I hope these parts of the church have been helpful. I've enjoyed it, getting to see the different parts of the Cathedral at St. John the Baptist, although I may be a little biased. That is my home parish and is the seat of the bishop. So I hope it's been helpful, and I hope to see you next Monday evening again at Foundations of Faith.